Hello, my name is Parchment, and welcome to my presentation on managing security issues in Virtual Office. The idea of employees working remotely away from their office is gaining in popularity, especially with the advancement in technology. It's gaining so much in popularity that over 60% of companies are letting their employees work away from home, which is due to employees liking to work independently and at home. Virtual Office is the bridge between remote workers and the necessary meetings that are sometimes necessary to discuss important communication about the company. In this presentation, I will be discussing virtual offices, how virtual offices work, security issues that can face in virtual offices, and how to manage them, and finish off with a conclusion. A brief overview on virtual office. Virtual office exists in cyberspace, which means that you can work from any location, whether it be your home, the beach, or a park. Like for instance, picture this woman right here. She's on the beach on her laptop working from a remote location. The beach, access to work. Next, we'll discuss some advantages and disadvantages of working in a virtual office. One advantage is a significant cost savings, especially to business and smaller business. They don't have to worry about paying costs for an office building, because like I said, you can work from any location, whether it be the beach, and you take your home. You're already paying mortgage or rent there. You don't have to worry about finding money to go pay for an office building. Another thing is flexibility, especially for employees. They have the chance to set their own hours, especially people who like who's school and drop them off to school, so they can work within their own time. They make their own hours. Another benefit is a more job opportunity for employees. Employees have more opportunity not just to look for jobs that allow stay at home, but they can look for a company that does offer that virtual office reality. And the final benefit is more hiring options for employers. Employers are not just limited to the workforce of people who can come to a physical office building, but now they can expand their horizon to include people who like to work at home. Now we'll discuss the disadvantages. One disadvantage is communication misunderstanding, and that tends to happen because you're not in a face-to-face conversation. I mean, you might get a message from somebody and hear them talking over the phone, and it might not be the same thing, but it's not as bad as it may sound. Another disadvantage is technical difficulties. We know communication. If it starts raining, automatically most people internet go out. And another disadvantage is separating free time from work time. Sometimes it's hard, especially when you have kids. Like, they don't understand that, hey, mommy or daddy is working and they want to come play, so you have to find a balance between that. And the final disadvantage is a lack of support from your managerial and administrative staff. Like, say you have a problem at the beach, at the park, or your house. Normally when you're in the office building, you can like go down the hall and go ask your manager or your team player like for help. Okay. Furthermore, we'll discuss some security issues. In the virtual offices, it does provide a boost in efficiency, but it does provide information security. Okay, one of our first issues that we'll see will be the malicious code, which is a code that's intended to cause undesired effects. And it comes in many forms, which is Java applet, ActiveX controls, browser plugins, and etc. What happened with the malicious code? It entered the network drive and sometimes spread to other environment. Some drawback to the malicious code is that it does cause downtime, denial of service, DOS, or sometimes you can compromise your data. Another security issue to worry about is a data breach, which we see a lot happening, especially with big companies like Target. And data breach is when you use the sensitive or confidential information by an unauthorized person, say like a hacker. The number of data breaches in early 2017 was 791. That's a 29% jump from 2016, and this is in early 2017, not even all of 2017. There are numerous impacts from a data breach, and it can be up to 90% of a total business impact, and that impact can be felt for 2 or more years. Another security issue to worry about is probing, which is when the unauthorized person gain an access to a weak point. And probing is done before another big security issue, which is hacking, and we'll discuss that next. Hacking which is similar to program, like I just said, and it costs Americans billions of dollars, like especially $1,000 an hour. The fact that we're hacking, if that the more that the companies stay offline, that's how much money they're losing per hour. Normally hackers use two methods, which are packet sniffers and, like we discussed, denial of service, DOS. Okay, now finally we'll discuss managing security offices and virtual offices. Organizations should take steps before and while operating virtual office. They should only give out personal information to known persons, and if possible, a professional receptionist should be hired, and all outgoing calls should be channeled through a secure system. Organizations should also enforce a strict security policies, and in turn for data breach, they should guideline authorization. What that means is data should be only authorized for those who it was meant for, and also another strict guideline that they should follow is a remote access server, and this will help to reduce a potential security breach. Furthermore, we'll discuss more about managing security issues in virtual offices. Companies should utilize the best security software and computer practices. Like, for example, I know many of us are familiar with Norton, which is a software. Their premium suite offers a secure PC backup and virus protection for different devices. Another thing that companies can do would be to utilize a cloud application, and what you do, you might do it through a third party, like a third cloud service provider. And most cloud service providers provide computing as infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service. What it does is it encrypt data technology, transmit confidential information from the remote location to the company intranet. Companies should also consider doing a virtual private network, which ensure that all employees' traffic are secure. They can do that through a third-party vendor, and that third-party vendor have to supply security components and to monitor malicious codes or infections. Companies should also have a system in place to recognize probes and identify packet sniffers. In recognizing probes, they should recognize attackers' high-volume attempts for access, and they should also indicate a company root compromise in case of the packet sniffers. Okay, now when it comes to about the employees, they should do the SCTA program. The SCTA program, which should inform employees about general security awareness and also about DOS and a compromised account. If an employee do have a compromised account, they need to report it immediately so that their account can be shut down immediately as well, so that they can avoid more data loss and, worst case scenario, identity theft. And lastly, what companies can do, they can avoid malicious code. Avoiding malicious code cannot be managed by an antivirus system. They can do it through adding static analysis, and one example is Veracode. Veracode is run in a non-runtime environment, which means they can run offline and online, and which will help to detect code in software inputs and outputs. In conclusion, we have seen how popular virtual office is gaining, especially due to the advancement in technology. And we understand that virtual office does boost companies' efficiency. However, that comes at a cost, because virtual office present more security challenges than working in a physical office. And some of those are malicious codes, hacking, probing, and data breach. Companies who can effectively manage these issues stand a better chance at being successful working in the virtual offices. And some management techniques are the set the program, which are tailored for employees, having a cloud service provider, having a static analysis like Veracode, having a virtual private network, policy, and some strict guidelines. Thank you for watching my presentation.